Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. California-based fintech firm Ripple has recently announced that its University Blockchain Research Initiative, UBRI, since its inception, has supported more than 45 university partnerships from across 20 different countries and funded over 1,000 research projects. For those of you who missed out many years ago, Ripple was more in the news as like an entrepreneurial, helping people get things started up, and also part of that was giving funding to companies and people who were willing to then also build things on top of the XRP blockchain. That was like one of their main things, even before the height of the idea of is the coin decentralized enough. The company, I think, realized that they could not build every single project themselves. So they began to give funding to other companies who said that they would then also be willing to build stuff on top of XRP. And I think as far as the university partnerships, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is true. I think a number of the nodes that Ripple had, a lot of them were given to universities as a gesture of friendliness. I don't know what you would even call it, but it was more of a to increase decentralization, but also to like make sure that they were in like proper entities, if you will, like, more reputable sources as anyway, that's part of go away. There we go. That news. Launched in June 2018, the University Blockchain Research Initiative aims to accelerate academic research, technical development, and innovation in the realm of blockchain, cryptocurrency, fintech, and digital assets. The initiative, which initially committed more than $50 million in funding, provides financial and technical resources to research institutions and universities worldwide, fostering the development of curricula, collaborative industry research, and the exploration of blockchain technology applications. Here's the tweet for it right here. They're showing like students who are smiling, so they're having a good time. That's how photos always work. Since its launch, UBRI, You Ain't Got No Alibi, has reportedly facilitated the introduction or expansion of up to 345 courses, underlining its far-reaching impact. The initiative began with 17 universities in 2018 and expanded rapidly, adding 11 more universities in early 2019, including prestigious names such as Carnegie Mellon University, the University of Kansas, the National University, I get it. I had to read further. The National University of Singapore. I was like, National in America. And Cornell University as well. What was the other? That's what it was. For those of you who missed the news, this was 2 or 3 years ago. Now there's no news about this anymore, even though it's still going on. You can look it up. I think it was Harvard, Brown. It wasn't Yale. Maybe Boston University, maybe. And there was one other one. People basically found out that these universities have so for those of you who don't know, university in America is expensive. Got it. But a large portion of that is that these universities, from the student fees that they're making, because it's a lot, they actually are like these universities have like endowment funds where they take huge portions of that money that they got from the students and actually buy up land and like other apartments and stuff like that. They say that it's for, student housing, so people have a cheaper place to live, but wink. Another portion of these endowments, people found out, was that they're actually allocating huge amounts of money into Bitcoin and to Ethereum. You can find it. Type in like U.S. University buying Bitcoin. Maybe it was 2018, 2019. And when I say that it's no longer in the news, it's because it's not so much that there was backlash, so much as like I was backlashing because I was like, you're charging people like $150K for 4 years of studies, and you're using, I'm assumptioning. And you're using that money to buy Bitcoin. There was also, what was it? One of the universities got a donation of like, I think it was like $50 million worth of Bitcoin. And I was like, Did you just donate that to yourself to get into the news? Like, who donates $50 million to an institution that has billions of dollars? If you've never, there's so many layers to this. Look up how much land and what do you call it? And buildings and apartments and stuff like that that universities in America own. You are going to be shocked because I would assume it would simply be like the surrounding buildings to have housing for the students. No. Like when you talk about these companies who are currently buying up all the real estate, like all the hedge funds and stuff like that, where do you think a lot of their funding is coming from? You'd be shocked to really understand exactly, A, how much money there is floating around out there, and how much of the things that we pay for services and or whatever is actually going into buying up stuff to make sure that we can never own it. You'd be shooketh, I tell you. Anyway, so cool. Ripple is rippling itself slowly back into the news every now and again. It's not as much as definitely not as much as 2017, 2018, but it's cool to see that all the initiatives that they launched, were trying to launch, are actually doing something. I haven't looked into it, but I would love to know that people actually got something out of these university courses, and hopefully they learn something and actually will be able to do things with it as they, go into their careers. Because if all this is just repressed, that would kind of suck. But I like to believe that there's some good in a lot of these things. Like, what was that thing a couple of years ago? It was Jay-Z and someone else. They went back to their hometown, and I think they gave everyone like classes on crypto. I think they even gave some of them crypto, and I think they also gave everyone like a laptop or something like that. And there were people complaining, like they should have gave those kids more money, or they should have had better laptops. And it's like, he could have done none of that at all. He could have stayed in his mansion in one of the 5 countries where he lives, and simply, he could have bought the school and kicked everyone out of it. People, Anyway, that's just my take on it. That's the Ripple. Almost said Jay-Z news. That's the Ripple Labs University Blockchain Research Initiative news. Got a bit off track there, but you know the channel. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, the number of countries approving different types of Bitcoin futures trading contracts continues to increase, because I think they're understanding exactly what's going on. But alas, here we are. And the UK, that is the UK, is the latest example. The London Stock Exchange Group has tapped global futures options to start offering the nation's first regulated trading clearing in Bitcoin index futures and options derivatives. Although the exact date of the product launch is not clear, both parties' expectations indicate that the product will see the light of day during the last quarter of the year. They said the index future service will be called Cash Settle through LCH Digital Asset Clear. The latter will be a new segregated clearing service developed by the UK digital asset derivatives trading platform GFOX. Sentences are way too long. And approved by the Financial Conduct Authority. So this was fairly popular news. I think any time that we get news about a stock exchange or anything launching something new Bitcoin-y, it ends up being popular regardless of what it actually is. Them launching new Bitcoin futures, I'm shocked that it took them this long to launch them. Bitcoin futures were popular years ago on 2 fronts. One, people within the cryptocurrency space believed that they would be something positive for the cryptocurrency market. But we found out that countries actually only launched Bitcoin futures because they were trying to lower the price of Bitcoin. You can look it up. I spoke about this about 38 times already because it's one of my major annoyances in life. And people assumed that institutions would actually be quite keen on, buying up Bitcoin futures. But companies actually want to have exposure to Bitcoin. So many of these companies are actually buying up Bitcoin. It's like I mentioned years ago. Why would you buy, if you know that there's a possibility that Bitcoin is going to go from 30,000 to 300,000, and inflation is rampant. Why would you not? So anyway, cool. So the London Stock Exchange by the end of this year will have Bitcoin futures. These will be traded in pounds, in paper money. It will not be traded in Bitcoin. It'll simply say Bitcoin futures. These people will try and bet against and or short the price of Bitcoin, and they will be obliterated, as has happened every other time before in the past. So get ready. Oh, that's very pretty. Anyway. That's I was looking at, there's a tree outside. I have a cherry blossom, and it has blossomed more in the last couple of days. Okay. All right. Let's move on. In one of the most popular news stories in history, the prominent microblogging site Twitter has announced they're going to be rolling out new features that support stocks and crypto trading in collaboration with eToro. I think that's a European brand. I don't know if eToro is in the States. I don't know. The new function will launch on the Twitter app apparently it launched. Oh, here we are. According to a CNBC report, users can trade stocks, crypto, and other assets directly via the social, but it's basically happening on eToro. Okay. Has anyone used this? Does it work? Are you on Twitter completely? How sometimes if you're on Instagram and you click on something, it'll take you to another website. So technically you're on Instagram, in the background, but you're actually on the other person's website. Is it that way? Or is it a page that pops up on Twitter that says Twitter Toro, and that's where you trade your coins? Okay. Tesla CEO Elon Musk acquired Twitter for far too much money, $44 billion, and I told you it was going to go belly up. A few months later, Musk claimed that the platform was worth only 50% of what he paid for it because I told you he overpaid and why were you trying to buy Twitter in the first place? Also, recently, he stated that owning Twitter is quite painful. What? That's crazy. Who could have predicted that except for every other person, an economist? I'm not an economist. If I was able to... 44. Do you know what you can do? Listen, do you know what you can do with $5 million? $5 million in real estate gets you around $6,000 plus in rent per month. I want you to have that in your head. $5 million, you got a good $30,000 hitting your pocket every single month. At least. From rent. It is believed it only takes $6 billion with a B to end world hunger. Think of that. $44 billion on a platform that people were barely using in the first place. I assume owning Twitter is quite painful. And yeah, currently, Twitter has a cash tag feature that enables TradingView's real-time trading data for index funds like the S&P 500 and some stocks, including Tesla. Users can search for the stock with that ticker symbol on Twitter by adding a $sign in front of it. The app will... Oh, I've seen that before. Okay, I've seen it before. The app will then display price information from TradingView using an API. So, yes... One of the most popular news stories. Once again, does this work? I saw this news and no one is talking about it. A couple of coins did, of course, pop up in price. Dogecoin being one of them because, the relation between Muskie and Dogecoin. But I haven't heard a word about this. I assumed that the popularity of the news would kind of continue on forever because everyone's so obsessed with Elon Musk and also apparently Twitter as well. So I just, now once again, because I assumed that this would have taken a long time, I expected by the end of this year and or next year that we would have crypto trading or crypto payments on Twitter. But I feel like, this is me personally, I would have heard more about this if this had actually been bigger or more used, because you understand what I'm saying? Everyone was so hyped for this to happen. And then apparently we now have crypto trading on Twitter and stock trading as well. but it's not in the news anymore. No one's talking about it. And okay. So that's the Twitter. Partnered with eToro. And now people can trade their crypto and their stocks on Twitter? Do you have to go through AML or KYC, or is it simply, this is what I'm asking. Is it going through eToro? Because if you're signed into eToro and you use it on Twitter, you're basically only using eToro. Like, is there like a page on Twitter where you can, trade crypto or, okay, I'll stop talking. That's the Elon Musk is a genius, I tell you. He's an absolute genius. He lost $22 billion like no one else could, and painful Twitter. And now you can trade your Dogecoin through eToro on top of Twitter. Genius. Genius, I would even say. Genius Twain. Makes a lot of sense. Okay. Let's move on. Rightio. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to all of you very, very soon. See you.